Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon, folks. Today is Thursday. Let me check my watch again. It's the 7th of May. Also the 14th of Ramadan. Sekali lagi diucapkan selamat berpuasa. Salam Ramadan kepada anda semua. We are very much in the middle of Ramadan already right now. Hope the last 13 days has been kind to you. You have been at peace. You have been doing lots of good things. You have been doing awesome things as well. Bersabar, yes. Now with the PKPB, with the MCO, with the MCO happening, there's not really much reason for you to even to go out anyway. So I guess that you're always indoors and you're always fine. Okay, just to check as well, we are very much as I mentioned, we are in the CMCO right now. The CMCO, the PKPB right now. Hope everybody's doing well. I see a few of you actually going to malls right now. Really, you're going to malls. I really do hope that you are taking good care of yourself should you need to. I believe you have a lot of important things to do when you go to the mall. But yeah, just make sure that you bring your sanitizer, you wear your mask, you take precautions fully and properly. Okay, guys, today I have a very special guest. This guest of mine is actually one of my idols when I was growing up. Granted, we are not that much of a difference age-wise, but yeah, he's been in the industry for the longest time. I know, seriously, when I say longest time, it's really long, all the gray beard and like gray hair and everything all coming out already. The guy is awesome. You definitely will recognize him from his laughter alone, especially when you hear it at 6:30 in the morning. The guy has been a rock star. He is still a rock star. Ladies and gents, allow me to introduce to you my buddy. I'm glad I can call him my buddy, Mr. JJ. There you go. Hey,
What's up? How you,
what's
man?
up, brother? I am surviving. I am coping as very much as everyone else out there. I'm good, man. How are you? You're
Correct.
looking good. Rocking the whole KJ
MCO
kind of
beard.
look. Seriously,
MCO beard.
you follow KJ style. Like KJ had this
No
whole
lah.
thing. No,
I had this first. Go follow you go through the timeline. I grew it first.
you grew it first.
Jangan. I
Okay.
grew first. But you know
Talk,
the
talk
funny
about
thing?
one thing ownership, right? Oh my goodness.
Correct. Well, the funny thing is when you told me you want to go on Sembang Sempoi,
Hmm.
ingatkan you nak cakap bahasa Malaysia. So I tengah groan sikit lah kalau cakap bahasa Malaysia. Bukan tak
No,
boleh.
no, no, no.
Tapi
Kita orang Malaysia, kita boleh bercampur, tak ada masalah. You can speak
memang.
Cantonese if you can. Dude, I mean
Boleh,
like
boleh, boleh.
that's what Sempoi is all about. It's all about chilling. It's about being
Correct.
chill, Sempoi, and that's what the show is all about. But first of all, again, thank you so much, bro, for coming
Most
onto the show.
welcome.
Really appreciate
Most
it.
welcome. Most welcome.
Yeah. MCO or CMCO right now. How has it been treating you? Have
PKP.
you
I
no, we're using too many acronyms right now. I pun dah pening
I
dah
also
sebenarnya.
don't know. Yeah, that's the weird part. Now I just QRSTUV it lah. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know why we have to put abbreviations to everything, but it makes it sound
Well,
cool,
it
I
sounds
guess.
cooler, I mean, like the Americans started it first with CIA, FBI, so
Yeah,
abbreviation is the king. I don't know.
yes, correct. But the funny thing is abbreviations hide the full extent of the meaning of the thing. Like if a lot of people still don't know what UMNO stands for, so I laugh.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right, we're going down that road. Okay, that was
No. I'm just saying because abbreviations, people forget what it means because abbreviations
yeah.
can hide things.
True.
Like even
True.
my name is a German name. I put JJ, it
Yeah.
becomes okay lah, accept.
Dude,
But if I
I
tell you
mean,
my real
seriously,
name, people like
anybody out there who actually knows what JJ stands for, feel free to leave a comment because, to be honest, until you Google it, you would never know what JJ actually stands for.
Joe Jambol.
Whoa, yesteryears. Whoa, nampak tua sangat kita ni, bro. We are old guys already.
Memang proud of it, dude.
Proud of it. I'm proud of it. Yeah. I mean, like with age comes with experience and finesse. It's like fine wine, isn't it? Pandai kokona.
Itulah. No,
Dude.
with age we learn how to lie better. But cover up. I know.
Pandai. Lovely. Okay, dude. 1998. Let's look into
Holy crap.
again. Yesteryears. Let's just pull it back. 1998. Just to share with fellow audiences, I was Form 4. I was 16 when I was 1998, and you, JJ, you've just started your career with a very renowned radio station, but not as a presenter, not as a host, but more of a cruiser.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a
Hmm.
cruiser because wanted money while I was waiting to
Of course,
graduate.
like everybody else, yeah.
So cruisers paid a lot of money back then. Okay, it was like $10 an
Really?
hour. So
Hey,
ten bucks
but
an
you
hour.
get a lot of freebies as well, right? Being a cruiser and whatnot.
$10 an hour was the key. Think about it.
Okay.
5 hours a day. That's $50 a day, weh. Gila babi
Oh.
kaya. So boleh. And then
Okay.
found out that I have to go on radio. Mampus lah, boleh lah juga. So went lah.
Uh,
And yeah lah, the rest is history lah. I stayed. I didn't leave.
mm,
Even though I
yeah, but
graduated as an electrical engineer.
dude, I mean, like, we are a bunch of engineers myself. I mean, like, I'm a telco engineer, you're an electrical engineer, but it doesn't really, I mean, like, whatever it is that we study it again. But okay, to be honest, are we that stereotype thing where our parents determine what we study and what we should have been,
Actually,
what we
no.
should have been?
I enjoyed electrical engineering. I was a big fan of math and physics. I still am.
Mhm.
But
So, buku pelangi merah tu, you finished it lah. The
I
SPM buku
finished
pelangi tu.
everything. My
Ah.
SPM math physics bagus. Benda lain tak boleh tolong. But I really liked it. So that's why
Hmm.
I became an engineer, not because parents, but I
Ah,
never learned about radio. So when I got to
okay.
learn about radio, I didn't just I didn't just become a cruiser only. So when
Hmm.
I'm the type who, if I got free knowledge to gain again, the mampus lah. So when I was a
Hmm.
cruiser, learned everything about promotions part of radio station, how it works,
Hmm.
the advertising, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
groundwork up, live events, how to do that. After 6 months of learning that, so I learned everything. Boring already. Okay, what's next to learn? So I
Hmm.
went sat down with the sound engineers. So I learned how to do all the Pro Tools editing, the sweepers and all the other things. And
Okay.
after learning that, the only next step is on-air broadcasting and also learning how to program radio stations.
Okay.
Then after that, just I went on learning. So all that got me
No, no, no,
into
okay. Coming back to that, I mean, like, were you anticipating this? Was it in
no.
your plans to like go step by step, or it was just like terjah aja? I'm just gonna jump in and just like try out something new.
It's more of ada chance belajar lah. Bukan dapat
Mm.
duit. I didn't get any
Uh-huh.
cent. There were times where the first time I went on radio, because this
Mm.
fly guy is saying, "Hey, dude, you should be on radio." I'm like, "I'm already on radio. I'm cruiser." He's like, "No, no, no, get a slot." So I
Okay.
convinced the boss to give me a slot. I got a weekend slot, and I did it for free for a year.
Wow. Okay, just
So
to prove yourself, or just to, I mean,
no,
as a
it's to
learning curve,
learn.
as a learning
It's to
curve. Okay.
learn.
Mm.
It's to
Okay.
learn. I'm the type, if I can learn something, I'll do it. So
All right.
but because of all the willing to learn and not get money out of it, now if I can start a radio station just like that, from just I need the finances,
Yeah.
the technical and all that, but I can tell you what I need and I can start a
Yeah.
radio station and the licensing stuff, of course. But
Mhm.
that is all knowledge you gain and
Mhm.
you grow from that, I guess.
No, because it's so interesting. Because again, as you mentioned, you started off as the hits cruisers. Cruisers. I mean, like, just for you guys out there. I mean, these are the guys who are going roaming. They're going outside,
Betul,
and stuff and everything, right? So
betul.
definitely, the cruisers needs to be somebody who is super hoo-ha, somebody who is like terlebih gula kind of style, somebody yang memang tak boleh
Actually,
duduk diam.
actually no. Orang
No, ah.
yang just think of someone who okay, you've been to malls walking
Yep,
around and then
of
you've
course.
seen people trying to ask you to sign up for credit cards and stuff like that. All
Yeah,
right.
usually I would take the
Oh,
other way around and like
yeah. But there are certain few guys who do that or girls who do that you don't mind having a conversation with them because they're
Mm,
friendly, their persona they give out is it
uh-huh.
allows you to be comfortable. So that's what you need.
Okay.
It's just be a persona that allows other people to
Okay.
be comfortable.
So,
You
so,
can do
so
the
very
job.
much like people friendly, very on kata soft spoken and very nice, engaging. So
Ah,
you have a friendly face and not a very fierce like
betul.
WTF kind of face lah kan. Of course.
Betul. You boleh kawan dengan orang tua dan orang muda sekali. Everyone
Okay.
is fair game.
Everyone is a fair game. Okay, so jumping to that, you started off as a cruiser, and then you went into all small bits and pieces, and finally got your gig on the weekend doing a show on radio. And then
Correct.
when you got the call to go, JJ, you're doing the morning show.
Oh,
What was in your mind? I mean, like
that was way.
what was it?
All right. The sequence for it also a lot of people don't realize.
Mhm.
I was doing the weekend slots, And then eventually I got my first to become a radio DJ. I got a midnight slot. So this is in year 2000, if I'm not mistaken. So I
Okay.
got a midnight slot, and I learned how to be on air live at 2 to 6 in the
Mhm.
morning. I
Having
created
to
my
do your own
own.
talk sets, your
Yeah, correct.
listings, and everything lah.
So I did that. Then
Who
six
listens to
months.
radio from 2 to 6 anyway?
That's the funny thing. That's the same mentality a lot of people who have to get that shift have. But I
Okay.
changed it to a way where I said, look, the sun is set here in Malaysia, but it's up somewhere else. So I'm the glass half full kind of person, no matter what
Mm.
situation from it. So I said like, I said like it's set here, but it's up somewhere else. So if you're up and you're listening to us, because that time Hits was on the internet, and it was the first, and people from the in the UK and stuff like that were listening. Malaysians who are listening.
Malaysians, yeah. Oh, cool.
So they used to call the station to make dedications to their mom who was sleeping, but they just call because they want to like, oh my God,
They just
Malaysians,
want
can
to
you
hear
be
themselves on the radio. That's what
correct?
I do most of the time before that anyway. So,
So 6 months there, then I moved to I forgot what slot. Then I also became the music exec. In other words, I'm the one who scheduled the musics into the station.
mm,
And then from there, I did the weekend slots as well. Weekend slots, that's where I was introduced to Rudy. And then we
Rudy, how
used
the hell is that guy doing now?
Rudy is good. Rudy is good. So we used to be the backup crew when Fly and Kev were on leave, and then eventually there came a time where the company wanted to split up Fly and Kev, and Fly and Kev didn't want to do that, so they just left, and I took over for 3 weeks alone, solo, and I could not handle it. I'm like, I cannot do this alone. So I went to the boss and like, I cannot do this alone. Can I call Rudy? Can I ask Rudy to join me in the morning? So the boss told me, you can convince Rudy to do it for free. Can lah. So I
Wow.
convinced Rudy to do it for free. So
How many
Rudy
teh tarik
was
and roti canai you had to give him, man? I mean, to convince
no.
that.
We were friends. One of the things we all wanted to do was to be the morning crew, but on our
Hmm.
own style, not Fly and Cab style, because that's Fly
Okay.
and Cab. We can't be Fly
Sure.
and Cab. So the crazy part is, so convinced Rudy to stay. Then Rudy came, and then next thing you know, they hired Jason Lowe to come in,
Mm.
and then I got kicked out. So after I got kicked out, I was still the music exec. I was
Mhm.
there for I was doing Drive that time for about a year. So it
Mhm.
was 1 year. Uh, Rudy and Jason Lowe. So
Mhm.
here's the things that stations does. Stations do this thing called perception survey. So they have their own internal surveys. And one of the
Okay.
questions they ask the people who take part in the survey is name a DJ you know, no matter what station. So during that time, the names that popped up according to ranking of the amount people know was first was Halim Othman, second one was Linda On, third was my name. So
Mm.
the consultant there, who's the white guy from Australia, going, "Who's this?" I say, "It's me," because I was music exec, so I was part of those management meetings, so I got to see all this.
Okay. So you
So
get
I
to see the
say,
numbers lah.
yeah. So I said, "That's me." And then he says, "Why are you here and not your morning crew?" I said, "I don't know." And then a week later, I was offered the morning crew slot again. So I'm like, "Hey,
Wow.
okay."
So it's like, a proven quality by the numbers stating that you should have been there from the get-go and everything.
Yeah,
And immediate
but
numbers and papers to actually tell people lah, to bring you up.
dude, until I left Hits, there were still bosses who thought I shouldn't be morning crew. So yeah.
Well, I mean that's how it is. When you're working in any organization, there's always going to be like people who clashes with you. I mean, as long as
Yeah,
to me personally, as long as it's productive, then it's fine. But if it's like the other way around, then it's just okay.
yeah,
Okay. Hits aside. Okay, you've done your name at hits, and then Red came calling.
yep, yeah. So Red came calling. They you see when how it works is Hits works on contract. So you're on contract every year, 2 years, 2 years, and you're
Yeah.
supposed to discuss your contract 3 months before your contract ends. But
Mhm.
they tend to love to wait last minute and force you to sign a
Yeah.
contract, and then you cannot negotiate or do anything. That's why the funny part is when I was morning crew, I was not the highest paid breakfast job. Me and Rudy weren't. We were not. Other stations
Okay.
were.
But granted, Hits was the English
Yeah,
radio channel there was, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we
Okay.
weren't the highest paid. So, because of this last minute. So anyway,
Mm.
long story short, I kept asking in November, need to negotiate, needs to negotiate. Let's talk about it. I'm not asking for extra money. I just want to talk and just get better deal for
Mm.
myself. Then Red FM came, and that time Kutsia was there. So Kutsia asked, "Would you like to come over?" I said, "Well, why?" Then she says, "Look, I know what you do that hits. I at Astro. I know you train the DJs. I know you come up with content. I know you sit down with promotions. I know you do a lot of things behind the scene, just besides just being a DJ." I said, "Yeah,
Mm.
you come over to Red. You still do the breakfast slot, but I'll give you a title to make sure you have a department that you can train this. It's under, so it's no longer you doing it and no one recognizes you and other people get credit for it." So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. And then
Yeah.
they gave me a good price too. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
very interesting. But I told them like, look, I'm loyal. I'm an old school guy, so I'm very loyal to the people who gave me a chance. So I said, I won't
Mm-hmm.
say yes or no. I'll go back to Hits and say, I'll ask them, there's someone interested, so can we negotiate? I just want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my worth here to the company? So
Mm-hmm.
went to the bosses and said, like, look, Red was asking. The bosses said, give us a day. They will come back and we'll have a discussion. I like, okay. The next day they came back and said, leave. So I left.
Wow.
I was there
Just like that.
just like that.
Ooh.
I was there for 14 years. So I signed a contract with Red. I left,
Mm-hmm.
but I still had to live out my contract at Hits. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I normally go on holiday in December and then come back in January. But they said no need to come on air in January. I'm like, oh, okay. But can you come to the office? We want to discuss. So I went to the office. What they did was they asked for my tag. They literally wait for me to come into the room. Then they asked for my tag and got security to guide me out. So I left lah.
It leaves a bit of bad taste at the back of my throat.
Nah,
I
it's
mean,
okay lah. It's life lah, dude.
no,
Life
no,
is
no, no.
a
Life is life. I totally get that. But you know how I mean again. I mean like okay that's how it is lah. Unfortunately, I mean like again lah in the corporate world sometimes behavior or sometimes processes are like that. I mean like
yeah.
I'm not in their shoes. I don't know. I mean like only hearing for you from one side. So jumping to that, apparently our acquaintance also has a comment on this.
Oh, okay.
He said that the world of radio politics, Naf.
Ah,
Wow.
yes,
That's
Nav.
really angry lah. He's an angry person lah. I mean, talking
He's
to
not
Nav
an
never
angry
change.
person lah. Nav is
No,
a
he's a
very
big
real
gullible teddy
person.
bear lah. I love him lah. I love his stuff lah.
He's a
Okay.
real
Yeah,
person.
okay. I mean, like, good riddance with Astro. Unfortunately, that your destiny wasn't there. But then,
Correct.
opportunity was opened up to you. You were given a better opportunity, I guess, with Red. Then you
Kinda.
ventured and
That's the weird
expanded
part.
your knowledge with Red.
That's the weird part. When I moved to Red, the people who own Red,
Mm-hmm.
who have a control over it.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
uh,
I'm loving that you're trying to, subtly say it without cursing or like bersopan.
no, because the thing is, the people we made a deal. When I came over, I said, give us 5 years before you can see any change. Change takes time; it doesn't happen overnight.
Of course.
So yeah, we did it, but then the people who said okay lost in the elections that year, so they changed the whole board of people,
Ah.
and then the new board of this in the party wanted instant results. So within 3 years, all of us got kicked out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Politics again,
Dude,
yay!
again,
But yeah,
like, I thought I wanted to have this conversation on a very high note and everything, but it has become a bit more
no,
like,
you asked me a question. I'm in a high note.
I know, I
I'm just
know.
I'm
If,
just
if
telling
I
you
knew,
real things.
Okay, another comment from a fellow friend of ours. To be honest, you and Ian, JJ and Ian, were one of the reasons why I listened to Hits. Sad to hear about this. Okay, let's talk about your partners. You had Rudy, you had
I had
Ian, you had
yeah,
plenty of wonderful, wonderful partners on
my
air.
first partner was Serena C.
Serena C, yes,
Yeah,
also another
but not for
acquaintance of
breakfast
ours.
lah. It was for the Hits Top 30, which was
Mm,
7 to 10, I think. So she was my
yeah.
first on air partner, Serena C.
Okay, Serena C was
But
your, but not for the morning show lah.
for the morning show, would let's see,
Okay, you had Rudy first.
Rudy,
And then
Ian, then moved to Red. There was Lil Kev. Then from Lil Kev, I had Ezra.
You
So
had
4.
Ezra, but you also had oh no, yeah. Oh, so you had like four different partners altogether. Like Ezra moved to BFM, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Nope, Ezra moved out of radio.
Moved
She's
out.
no longer, she's not on radio.
Oh,
But
okay, okay.
I think she's working in Media Prima.
Yeah, all right. And another friend of ours, hey JJ, used to listen to you guys during my school days in 2000. See, we are young people who are listening to old buggers like you. Glad to know that you're still rocking it. Keep it up and stay safe. Dude, again, I mean,
Thanks,
like,
mate.
definitely people who in their, early 30s until mid 40s, definitely would have known you so much, would have listened to you a lot on
Dude,
air,
it's weird because now I'm a creative director in an agency, and we went for a pitch in this
Mm,
very big international company. And so the thing is, we didn't know we were going for a pitch. We thought we were just going to go for a briefing. But
mhm.
the subordinates there said, like, no, aren't you supposed to bring stuff? We're like, no, you just told us come here because you want to give us information. And the new CEO wants to meet us of that
Mhm.
department. So we're like, they were freaking out, like, and then the CEO walks in and looked at me like, wait a minute, are you JJ from radio last time? I'm like, yes. Oh my God, I used to listen to you when I used to go to college. I'm like, oh my God,
Oh,
what
we
am
used
I
to go
doing?
to college. Oh my
So
God.
in my mind, it's like, what did I do wrong? This person, this lady is already a CEO, and I'm going there. Ah, yes. But yeah, that's life, lah.
Mhm. No, no, it's funny, because like, one way or another, because the fact that you've been on air on national radio, you have touched people in so many ways, because you have filled them up with your laughter in the morning, with your jokes, with your antics and everything. Dude, that laughter is freaking contagious way. I really,
Hey,
like, it's definitely recognizable. Like, and remember, when I used to call you guys on it and everything, you actually saved my number. You actually called me back. I was like touched that you would call
why
one of your.
not?
Oh,
We called back.
I was thinking that maybe you were lacking of content. Like, okay, like this
No,
guy
no,
must have
no, no,
nothing to
no.
do, like,
You
less
see,
content.
we save numbers of people who are articulate and people who have
Oh,
or are opinionated and willing to speak out of their minds. I don't want the
okay.
same, hey, what do you think? Yeah. And then the next person, no. And then the next person,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't like conversations like that. I love
dude, as
conversations
a
that
moderator,
challenge.
that's the worst, isn't it? When you're moderating a
Correct.
forum and everything, when you have guests. Oh no, even when you're a radio DJ, you had
Correct.
guests on air. You ask like, two, three, four freaking paragraphs, and then the guy says, "Okay."
Yeah, yeah, I know. So I love people to challenge my thoughts. So I love people like
Mm.
that. I it only helps me grow. So I meet up with all these different people. Like I save the numbers of people who give a different point of view because it'll help lead the conversation in different places rather than just one flat line. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Done. End of show.
Yeah.
Sucks.
All right, awesome. Dude, I got a long one here from Vicky Rao, man. Yeah, the laughter was the main
Hey,
attraction.
Vicky. What's up? I know
For
this
me
one.
to make sure to listen to you guys, he took over. Was a huge fan of Little Cam and Fly Guy. Didn't thought it could match. JJ nailed it. Proud of you. But
Thanks,
nah,
buddy.
dude. Wow.
Thanks.
Thanks, JJ. Awesome stuff,
No,
man. I mean,
see, the lucky part for me was I'm the type who don't take things that people give to me. So
mm,
the reason why Rudy and JLo didn't quite work out because they still tried to copy the Fly Guy and Little Cat mold. And
okay.
when I got a
Yeah.
chance again, I'm like, no, we do it our style because this is
Yeah.
us. So
No,
we
because
remodeled
everybody has
everything.
their own style, has their own persona, has their own,
Correct.
method of me. I mean, like, you cannot
No,
be some other guy. You can take
correct.
them as inspiration, but you cannot just copy
Correct.
paste. It wouldn't work.
Correct. And even
Mm.
the structure of the show was changed. We changed it. The funny part is the structure of the show we changed to is more or less used by every radio station nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah,
Every
I
15 minutes,
I've
every
realized that.
20-minute
Yeah.
segments. Each segment has a little high thing like a gotcha call, or a game or something. Everyone copied the same more or less mold. But before this, it was
Calvin actually
30.
said this. Yeah. He misses you saying gotcha.
I don't. got the funny gotcha started in a very nice way, but now gotchas are weird. I'm no offense to Ian and Arnold. They're still friends. It's just whole different way of
Yeah.
gotchas than what we used to do.
No, no,
When
I think those kind of thing has a bit of a expiration date, more or less,
it's
because like,
not if you use if you,
no,
okay look
mm,
okay reality shows work if you have a human connection to it. So the gotcha calls, the reason why it worked during our time is because the way we did it was not out to make people angry. That was not our objective of the gotcha call. We're not out to make people shout, scream, swear, and get a lot of bleeps. That's not our mission. Our mission is to put people in situations that is wrong, like charging you extra money for no apparent reason whatsoever, and see how you deal with situations like that. And that helps the listener who listens to it go, what would I do? You know what I
So
mean?
it's not just about pranking. It's just not about taking it
No,
like like really hurting that guy in such a way. No.
it's not that. It's just putting people in situations they don't want to be in and see
Ah,
how they handle it. So it was very real, raw, and that's why people liked it. But
nice.
we weren't going all out to scare the crap out of people. Like I give
Mm.
you Rudy calling his mechanic and saying, I don't know what to do. My car's going down the hill. I can't press the brakes. And then the mechanic who is his friend instantly jumps into the mood of how to save it. Okay, pull handbrake, try turn, drop gear. All that instantly came out of his head. But
Wow. Okay.
that's real. At the
Yeah,
end of the day,
that could actually happen.
yeah.
That
So
that could
after that, we
actually
just put a sound effect. The car crashed. The floor like, are you okay? Like, but when you say gotcha, he's like, you idiots. But
yalah.
but the funny part is it showed that he cared. We didn't make him sound stupid at all, because at the end of the day,
Mm.
if someone says, hey, you got gotcha, you'll be like, yeah, what would you have done in that situation? And then
Mm.
would you have like, I don't know what to do, put another one.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah,
would be the kicker, definitely. All right,
that's a
interesting.
lot of people.
Yeah, again, a long time you have been involved in radio and everything, and the fact that you right now you're working with an agency and you do have a bit more time on your hand. You actually developed something to give a chance for all the radio DJs, wannabe or
Correct.
enthusiasts out there to actually have their own station. Talk us
Correct.
about radio, man.
It's okay. Radio is okay. Remember when, I don't think a lot of people can remember, but when
No,
YouTube
you
started,
want to go flashback and everything? I have to dial whether or not you're talking about 80s or 90s or what.
the think about when YouTube started. When YouTube started,
Mm.
all right, YouTube was a platform that allowed anybody who has a passion for video and creating content through video to
Mhm.
have a place to put it up,
Yeah.
have a place to share it, and have a place for people to watch it, comment, and improve. So that's
Mm.
basically what YouTube did. And
Yeah.
YouTube also gave the power of visual content back to people who watch it. So the community became the decider, not a network, not
Mhm.
a
Not
station,
station,
or
not a
no,
corporation. Mm.
not a corporation. The people decided. So that's what YouTube gave to the visual people. And then it grew into the monster it is now after Google bought all that lah. But
Mm.
radio, the app, is, I call it radio is because it's RADIOOH. OOH stands for out of home. So it's
Okay.
radio out of
So
home.
radio. Okay. Mm.
So it's radio out of home. So
Radio
that's
out of
why
home.
it's,
Mm.
yeah. So that's why I did it. Now, when it comes to radio, sorry, everyone, I'm going to give you a lesson in radio. There's three important elements in radio: the listener, the announcer or the DJ, and the musician. Those are the three very important elements in radio. Each element has their own complaints. As a DJ, you wish you can talk about anything you want anytime you want. Then, as a musician, you wish your music is played without a radio station telling you your music is not good enough. And as a listener, you complain either you don't like the DJ, you don't like the songs, or you don't like the ads. So those are the normal complaints. There's no choice.
Mm.
It's everything is force fed. So when I created radio, I separated the elements and put them together. So now, as a radio announcer, I create my shows on the app. And the crazy part is I create my shows on my iPad or on my phone, so I can do my show anywhere I want, record anywhere I want, and just do it. And I can talk about anything I want, and I don't have to be funny, haha. I can be serious person also. So if someone wants to do a radio show about financing in Tamil, go ahead. You can. There's no right or wrong there.
Of course.
So
Mm.
I wanted to open it up for anyone to become share content. So now the DJs focus on content, which is what to talk about, what to share, what information you got, and you don't get to pick music. All you get to pick is the genre of music you want in background and language you wanted the music to be in. That's about it. You pick. Okay. So you concentrate mostly on content, and then people. I mean, like, no longer can you go. Oh, coming up, we got this song. That's not important already. Now is what you want to give, what information you share. So that's the DJ part. The second part, musicians now upload their own music to the platform, original songs. They now decide whether they want their music to play, how long they want it on the platform. They can take it down whenever they want. So there's no restrictions. And like I said, the DJs only pick genre and language, right? So if someone in the US does a show in English and says the genre is rap, if the Malaysian rapper puts up a song in English, it might appear in a US show.
It might appear there.
It's because it's just the app just places according
No,
to the
that's the
algorithm.
algorithm of how the app actually works, lah. Okay.
So the idea is not to restrict. The music is either it's good music or bad music. There's no, or it's good music because it's Malaysian, or it's because of this one, or because of producer. No, good music or bad music. So that's basically it. So now that is the musician part, and the third part is the app where what do you call this? Listeners. Now what listeners do is listeners can pick me, like, oh, I like JJ. So whenever I do a show, I put up, there's a link. They click the link, the show starts. It's no longer got to listen to him 6 to 10. Just listen whenever you want to start listening. So you click, the show starts. When the show starts, then the music plays in the background. Listener now can also have a button to switch the music so that JJ still remains, but the music is to their own liking.
To their own liking, to their own preferences, lah.
Their own preferences. So it's the radio, then it's twist to, yeah lah, I like JJ, I like his content, then I switch to my own music, tak ada orang nak complain. So there's no complaints already lah.
Okay, so you're basically, cutting gaps, bits and pieces of whatever it is that people disliked previously, and trying to make this perfect formula and like bancuhan yang perfect lah, orang kata, to make that perfect.
The idea is to give back radio to people. That's the main thing. I don't want networks to own it. So that at the end of the day, it's up to people. It's exactly what YouTube did for video people. The crazy part is now you look, all the big stars are on YouTube. Universal has their own YouTube page. So
until the point where they had to succumb to the point where they have to be aligned with YouTube.
Correct, because the masses followed that.
Correct.
No longer can.
So this is definitely a vision of radio moving forward, for sure.
Of course, I want, at the end of the day, when more people use it, then I can get advertisement on it. And advertisement, I'm going to, that also the listeners can pick what kind of advertisements they want to. So it's more skewed that way. And then when that comes in, I'll do revenue share with everybody. I don't want the money for myself. I actually want people to succeed. That's me.
Nice, awesome. Where can they find this app, man? Is it on Google Play Store and App Store right now?
Yep. Play Store, App Store, both there.
All right, so I guess if you guys really want to venture this out, you can check out the app and everything. And should you have any questions, go find JJ on Instagram, DM him. Any questions that you have, just tabur kat dia je. He'll be more than happy to entertain any questions that you have. Boleh.
Yeah, and you look for radio is RADIOOH on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook lah easier. There's a place where there's like tutorials and stuff like that, how to do it. So you can. It's all there.
Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Dude, we're running out of time, man. We are at 33 minutes already. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Talking on radio or on a show that you can never stop. but before we leave again, I do want to mention as well that you are also doing something on the education side. Education meaning that you're doing something to make people better in regards of presenting and as an MC. And what is that?
It's not an MC just MC. See, presenting as an MC, as a DJ, a radio DJ, and a TV presenter, 3 different elements, but the basic is always the same. So I want to try and teach people the basics, because the basics can be applied to job interviews. You are now the client, you're presenting yourself to your interviewers, you know what I mean? That is also presentation. Another form of presentation is if you're in school, you've got homework to give in front of class. That is presentation. A lot of people nowadays, I've seen people coming out, they are brilliant at their studies, but they can't communicate.
No, people are just afraid of public speaking, like to be on the pedestal and then like to speak, confidently. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone is JJ, so it's not easy.
No, but everyone can. Everyone can talk. Everyone knows how to talk. But the problem is there's a lot of things that you scare yourself into, and eventually you make your presentation, you overthink things. So I just want the course that I wanted to I'm going to do online is just a basic breakdown of how to have a simple basic presentation so that it's easy to consume by whoever's listening, entertaining, engaging, and then people come back. That's basically the plan.
And when is the next session that you're doing? When is this happening?
The
Wait,
next session
you
I'm
forget,
planning to do. No, I haven't forgot. Is the weird part is I had a proper plan, and then CMCO came about, and then no longer can I just
no
do it in the
longer, yeah,
daytime.
people can just like, well, actually, okay,
Correct.
yeah. People go to work.
I was thinking of doing it in the daytime on a Wednesday, because it's tengah bulan puasa. No one to do my the things I'm going to teach is educational, nothing bad, so people can take part in it. Then suddenly CMCO came, I'm like, alamak, nak buat malam tak boleh. Malam ada orang nak buka puasa, nak semayang, bukan senang. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. So and weekends, people want their weekends to themselves. So I'm figuring out when's the next class lah. So let me figure that out.
Definitely the announcement is coming up on JJ's Instagram page as well. So you guys just watch out for it. Oh wow, we could actually go for hours, but I do have to put a stop limit on this because again, this is gonna take forever. Dude, lastly, anything that you want to share with the audiences? Maybe a bit of a rant of what you did on your IG yesterday. I don't know.
My rant on IG. Okay. The rant was just basically people are being ridiculously stupid, and we're forgetting that it's a CMCO and there's still restrictions out there. But I don't want to leave on a rant. How about I leave with something I posted? My worries about ending the MCO. So I wrote this. Okay, it's under. If you look at this, it's I put it up on my Instagram. It's called JJ's Reflections. It's just something that I reflect on once in a while, an insight I have to myself, and I share it because I sometimes go back to my reflections and read it to help myself. Anyway, so what I wrote, I wrote this. I wrote, MCO is almost over, question mark. I'm not ready for things to go back to normal. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that people will get to work and earn, but I'm not ready for the focus of life to be money and power, where the focus was on material things instead of spiritual and mental well-being. I'm not ready to give up blue skies we've had for the past month, where nature is healing and winning. I'm not ready to give up humanity, empathy, and compassion shown, where people put their self-interest aside and focused on collective. And I'm not ready to go back to a broken system where only a few succeed and a lot get left behind. I'm not ready for vanity and beauty to outshine talent. I'm not ready for people to live for what they want instead of what they need. Maybe I just don't want to. So I'll leave you with that.
Awesome stuff, man. Really, really awesome stuff. I mean, like, as much as you're a joker, you can be very inspirational at times. Like, I cannot put it together. Like, seriously, it just doesn't apply well. But awesome
I'm
stuff.
real.
There you are. There you are, folks. Thank you so much, DJ brother, for coming on air on Sempoi. Really appreciate your time and really
Most
appreciate
welcome,
you
buddy.
coming on air. So, guys, that's it. Should you guys want to ask more about the radio app or even whatever it is that's coming up from DJ, do DM him on IG. Feel free to ask him all the things that you want. If you want him to laugh for you, maybe you can pay him for that. I do not know how it works. He did laugh for us anyway. So thank you so much, guys. Hope you guys actually, enjoyed this session as well. So as always, kita jaga kita, duduk rumah dan ayo Malaysia, kita putuskan rantaian COVID-19 ini bersama-sama. Alright, JJ, say goodbye.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Ciao.